Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. The time for talk is over as we are just mere moments away from the Super Bowl. Two teams now have a chance to prove they are the best. It's the Browns going up against the Cowboys. So the time has come. Let's send you out to the stadium and join the two men that will have the Super Bowl call. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to picturesque Miami, Florida. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here between the Cleveland Browns and the Dallas Cowboys. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it is our extreme privilege to be on hand for the Super Bowl. And I can't help but look down on this field, partner, and think about the history of this game and all the great players, all the great teams that have stood on the field for this moment. So special.
This game is so historic that while we call it the Super Bowl now, that wasn't even the name of the first couple. It's the AFL NFL World Championship game before the Super Bowl really took hold. And think about the Green Bay Packers winning the first two that got us kicked off and started towards where we are today.
And with the whole world watching, at the end of this game, at the end of tonight, one of these two sides, they get to etch their name in NFL immortality.
No doubt about it. They hold up the ultimate symbol of victory in this league, the Lombardi Trophy.
"50 years after Joe Namath and the guarantee, we are underway in Super Bowl 53. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And this is a guy who cares totally about his team. He will do whatever it takes for a play to be successful and for his team to win. I've seen him become a lead blocker on running plays, even though I'm sure his coaches don't want him anywhere near that pile.
On 1st and 10, Winston. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
Going to give this time to the tailback. He'll get 3 up to midfield. Dez Bryant, certainly one of the go-to guys, if not the go-to guy for this offensive unit.
One of the most talked about players in the league, as well as one of the most productive receivers. He attacks the football downfield.
2nd down following the run. Winston now from the 50. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And a solid run down inside the 30. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
2nd down, Winston. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Jameis now on 1st down. And he fires one incomplete. Uh-oh, Charles. Now you get to talk about your old spot, the secondary. Very key here in this one.
Yeah, you have to cut me off because, I'll talk about them all game long. Love to see those guys match up and challenge the best wide receivers.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. They'll give it to him right up the gut. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
This now play number 9 on the opening drive, but it's third and long. Third and long for Winston. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's fourth down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And his kick is indeed good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
It's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Oh, look at the juke. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
All right, it's football 101. That controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Past the 20. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. 41 yards. And the Browns have taken the early lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And this is up and good to make it 7-3. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And the defensive line controls the offensive front the way we just saw there. It doesn't allow any of the offensive linemen to leak downfield and get to the linebackers and block them on the second level. You end up with the type of play we just saw. Linebackers didn't have to fight anyone off, didn't have to knock anyone to the side, didn't have to elude anyone trying to block them. They just saw the play, ran to the ball, and finished things off.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Survey, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. He's got time. And he'll be out of bounds, getting it across the 25.
Holding offense.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. This is taken at about the 14. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down. And it's possible that today the most important group could be the linebackers.
Yeah, the second level, as we like to call them, right? Defensive front has to control things, but the linebackers, they do more than clean up. They help create big plays.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Finding time. And this is going to be incomplete.
Holding offense.
The Browns send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. Taking it about the 16. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
Offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
On 3rd down, Winston. He's got time in the pocket. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic. So anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Let's see what they go to here on 3rd down and 6. Working out of the gun, Winston. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
So we played a quarter here in Super Bowl 53. It's a close game here early on. The NFL on EA Sports continues right after this message. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin. Number 2. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down. They go play action. Winston. And Winston lost the football.
At plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Shift to the defense of the Cowboys now. They have a little something to build off of from last time with a 3-and-out.
And what they have to build off of? Great confidence right now. Being able to stuff someone on a 3-and-out. You feel like you're in control now. You're doing the dictating. They want to see if that can continue as this game progresses.
Will it continue? We'll see. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They come up in an offside eye. Back to throw here. We're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Fresh set of downs here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Cuts it out to the sideline. 30 yards on the pickup there. And it'll give the Browns a first down.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball. Because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed, plenty of open field to get after that.
He'll drop to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They run the counter now on first down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's good. The ball held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. He's staying with the ground game.
And to give this time to the tailback. Bulldozes past him. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
They come out here in the eye. Second down, Winston. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you can pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility? But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Play fake. Winston surveying the field. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And the Browns getting set to go. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down. You're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And now we've got flags down. Looks like one of the Browns might have moved. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Dan Williams there to make the tackle.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. See if they stay on the ground for second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got a little daylight. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Here's Winston. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. Their big tight end, 41 yards. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And a long run there in the end to top it off. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now back onto the field. Here comes the Cowboys defense. Now the interception for them the last time, and that turned into 6 points.
You think during their break they reminded the offense that, hey, we helped you guys out a little bit, right? You know, they want to see if they can do it again for them. They're putting together an entire team game by how they're playing on defense.
So the interception the last drive, what will happen here? And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. And he'll give it here to his running back. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain, and it's second down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down after a good game. So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And taken right at the 35. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. A reminder, coming up at the intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Larry Ridley and the crew in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Bryant spread out to the right. Jameis now on first down. He's got time. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They'll try to throw now. Winston. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Good throw. Receiver does his job, and it's a first down for the offense.
Excellent execution all the way around. Plenty of time for the quarterback and the receiver to work their first down magic.
On first and 10, Winston. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Throwing again, Winston on second and 10. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. From the red zone now, Winston finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They'll throw again. Winston. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Dez Bryant from 10 yards out. And the Cowboys have broken the tie.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. This is taken at his 4. It's a foot race. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And he gets it to go, and we're all even, 17 apiece. A spectacular return of 96 yards. Great blocking in front of him on special teams as well as he takes it to the end zone. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Now Jameis on 2nd down. He's got his man on the crossing route. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've come upon halftime here in Super Bowl 53 as we send you up to Orlando. And with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Larry Ridley.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Right now, we've got a tie game, and that just means exciting football for us in the second half, as we'll have 2 teams playing 2 quarters to decide a winner. So let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Now 1st and 10, handoff and run goes up the middle, and he'll go in for the score. Browns go up by 4. Offense now with the shot after the interception. Pass coverage will break down here. And this 2-play drive goes for a touchdown. Cowboys tied up at 10. Cowboys take it at the 11. Winston's got the completion from the gun, and it leads to a touchdown. They go ahead by 1. Cowboys lined up for the kickoff. The return will start from the 4, and he'll win the sprint to the end zone. We're tied up at 17.
Okay, LR, we are at both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you. Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there, and it helps him move the sticks.
And how about that on third down? So many different directions an offense can go. Throw it out wide to the receivers, get it to their speedy running back. They changed up everything and handed it to the fullback, and he surprised them all and picked up a first down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They go play action here on first down. Finding time. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And on 2nd and 10 now. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. A good gain there on 3rd and 8 of 7 yards, and now a decision here on 4th and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. Dez Bryant with nothing but green grass ahead of him. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dez Bryant, 78 yards. And the Cowboys have broken the tie.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. The try here for the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we've got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll power his way up near the 25. It's a 5-yard pickup, so essentially they get the penalty yardage back, and it's back to 2nd and 10.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And incomplete on the deep ball. So pass interference partnered with all the rule changes. It is hard to be a defender in the pass game.
Brandon, is tough in college. It's a lot harder in the NFL. You can't touch him after 5 yards downfield. You can't touch him while the ball's not in the air. You can't touch him at all until the ball is at the receiver's hands. Very difficult to be a defender in today's NFL.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much after catch, but it worked really well.
On 3rd down, they'll try and run for it on the draw. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
So they were able to move the ball into the red zone, but they'll wind up coming away with just 3.
Yeah, 32-yarder. That's equal to an extra point nowadays, and those are no problem for an NFL kicker.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's not always as straight as that team wanted it more than the other, but on that play, it actually was true. They were faster to the ball.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's 2nd down. Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Surveying the field. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Jameis to throw it. Hard throw, incomplete. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, standing right on his own 5-yard line.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And here are the Browns now as the offense comes back out onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. A gain of 6 there on first. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
There's completion to the tight end, and I think they were looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Now a handoff looking right. What a spin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Most players will tell you that night games, while they can be fun, they're really hard to prepare for because you wake up on game day and all you want to do is get to the stadium and let's get going. But you got to bank that fire a little bit and hold it until the evening. It's almost like a Broadway premiere. Got to wait until the nighttime to go out there in front of the bright lights. And boy, he harnessed himself really well, and now he's unleashing it on the opponents.
He's got time. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now a play fake here on first down. Backing up. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw again. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. Red zone opportunity.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you...
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8, and that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5. They get the sack on the blitz, but it was 3rd and inches. Are you surprised like I am they weren't running the football there?
I'm right there with you. I would have thought at worst, quarterback sneak, try and pick up the 1st down and move on. But instead, I think they thought they could catch him by surprise and maybe hit something deep.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick here is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So make it 3 field goals for him now. And this last one tightens things up a bit.
And I know that offense is on the sideline right about now, checking out the tablets and saying, man, we let a good chance slip away there. We've got to start finishing some of these drives.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now the Browns get ready as they head back out there. They're trailing on the scoreboard. Now, they had to watch that last drive, then they come out here. Defensively, when you played, did you like being out there defensively to start the second half or wait to drive?
I wanted to be out there right away. Come out of the locker room, get right back into the flow of the game, because sometimes when you sat around, you liked it when your offense gave you a long drive, but it made it a little bit tougher to get out on the field.
It's the second drive here. We'll see how they respond. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Second down, Winston. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That throw good for only a couple and brings up 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Completed pass on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down as the defense looks for the stop. Winston on 3rd and 2. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
1 quarter remains in Super Bowl 53. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that load in the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And tough starting field position here. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line.
Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out. If you're just trying to get 4 on first down.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now you can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They go play action here on first down. Finding time. Still back there. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Holding offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Back to throw again. He's going to go for a big play downfield. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third. Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Again, he'll drop to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. He'll look to set up his blockers. Fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better. I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up in the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Looking left side, and it's complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year and the Davises and the Gardens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like. Like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get it down to the play to the 37. 11 yards on the pickup. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down. Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw.
Offense.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down.
We got 3. We got 3, fellas. We got 3. Ready. Blue ready.
On 3rd down, Winston. Gonna throw right side here, complete. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a first down.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
That's so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
First down, Winston. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 11 yards on the pickup, and that leads to a Dallas first down. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And he slings one that's incomplete. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On 2nd down, Winston again. And he comes back with one complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Jameis now on first down. He's got time in the pocket. His throw caught at about the 5. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. 2nd down, goal to go from the 6. And they'll go with a ground attack here. He showed off a nice juke of the defender, but the next wave there to bring him down.
Were you as surprised as I was that they actually ran it on 2nd down there? I thought that they would go ahead and throw it in every situation here.
They've thrown for 3 touchdown passes. Now here, I think they probably go back to the air.
Yeah, I think so. But ordinarily, 2nd down is when you run your play fake, your play action, show run, and throw the ball. Now they brought up 3rd down. They'll have to throw it anyway.
And the yellow flag hurts this offense, and now they face a tough 3rd down. And now movement again, and they'll march even further backward. And now for the offense, this is play number 11 here on this drive. The extra defensive back in the game here on 3rd and goal. Can't find anyone open. And that is incomplete.
Holding offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
3rd and long for Winston. Surveying the field. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. A gigantic sack on 3rd and goal. A loss of 12. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This from 54 yards away. And his kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. 66 yards. And the Browns have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. And how about that giving us our 5th lead change of the game? It's been back and forth.
No doubt about it. And right now, they're ahead, but they can't relax at all because if we've had 5 lead changes, I'm kind of betting on a 6th.
Yeah, we might see a 6th. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And some room to maneuver. 20, 10, touchdown, Cowboys. Their dangerous wide receiver, 97 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. They had just lost the lead. That deficit sure didn't take long to erase. They return the ensuing kickoff for a touchdown.
Love the thunderbolt that just came out of that one, that puts them in the end zone and back in the lead. Your only question, your defense just gave up a score that puts you behind. Well, that score you just added on the board will energize them, or do they have to go back out there and they're a tired unit? We'll soon see.
And he's able to put it through. What an explosive kickoff return from the 2 all the way to the end zone. A 98-yard return for 6. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This one fielded at the 5. Oh, what a move. Shreds the tackle. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got time. He's going to look deep down the field. That's caught inside the 20. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Time starting to run out here in the 4th. This defense just trying to keep the offense off the board and preserve this potential victory. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. Getting late in the 4th now, Charles. 2-minute warning just around the corner.
Yeah, some teams just want to get to that spot, take a breath, and then come out and attack for the rest of the game.
Now the LSU man, it's Kenny Hilliard. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a critical 3rd and goal now in a 1-score game. They're back at the 8 now. 3rd and goal.
Let's go. 3-39.
From the shotgun now. Here's an inside give. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. What a Super Bowl this has been, and the biggest play comes now. It's 4th down. He's back to throw, finding time. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Their dangerous wide receiver. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Browns have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter.
And touchdown and congratulations and zero relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Yeah, part one is done, but now on the sideline, you can already see them scrambling down there. They're getting those defensive guys ready.
Yes, you have to get those guys ready, and you also have to talk to your special teams guys. Make sure the kickoff is exactly what you want and cover it well.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second. And they're going to speed things up here. Back to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Back to throw. He's got time in the pocket. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. They'll look to throw. Surveying the field. And this one's incomplete. Good job by the O-line. Quarterback had time to go through his checks. That's one you need to take advantage of.
A perfect situation, and they're unable to take advantage of it. When you have that much time to scan the field, you have to find an open receiver. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
An expecting pass. Winston. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. It looked like he might have had a window there, but the rhythm was just a little bit off.
It certainly was, because everything that has to come together to get a pass completed, yeah, you're right. The sync just wasn't there.
Now Winston. And that is incomplete. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Winston to throw. He's got time. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down. And here is motion again, and that's going to be 2 in a row. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. And now movement again, and they'll march even further backward.
Offense.
They're going to try for it on 4th. Winston stays out there. Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. And they're not able to convert on 4th down. A gutsy decision there at this stage in the second half in their own territory, and a decision that they might regret.
Can't wait for the post-mortem. You know, this post-game press conference, because the questions are going to come fast and furious about this decision, no matter how the game turns out, right? What were you thinking there? Why? Did you have a certain play call? Were you comping your defense? Oh, yeah. Why? It's going to keep coming up.
Yeah, no matter the scoreboard, just tough to justify. The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. Now, hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Time for this one final knee to put a bow on this title bout. And how about this? The dog pound gets the crowd. The Cleveland Browns are the Super Bowl champs. For the victors, getting to hoist that Lombardi trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. But the accomplishment, forever.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.